Payday's Friday. By Monday, it's gone. Not because you bought anything stupid, not because you were lazy. You were short, and being short is expensive. Two people need the same thing. One has $10, the other doesn't. Both get it, but one has to pay over time. One ends up paying $15. Same thing, same price tag. So where did the extra $5 go? This is Ray. Ray has a job, and he shows up to it. Every day. He doesn't eat out much. He doesn't buy the new phone. When something's on sale, that's the one he gets. When something breaks, he doesn't replace it. He fixes it. He watches the videos. He learns. And on payday, he sits down and gives every dollar a job before the month can take it. Rent, food, gas. The little that's left, he has plans for. So here's the question this video is about. If Ray is doing everything right, why does his money keep costing him extra? Watch closely. The answer isn't in what he buys, and for a while, it works. He skips the coffee. The stack grows. He walks instead of taking the bus. It grows again. The jar even has a job. It's his wall, the thing that stands between him and a bad week. The usual money advice? Ray is doing all of it. And the jar fills. Slowly. Honestly. Look at him. He's getting his money under control. No debt, no leaks, a little further every month. Remember this jar. It matters later. Then Tuesday happens. The car, the one that gets him to the job that pays for everything, stops. And before you ask, no, he can't just skip the repair. For Ray, no car means no job. No job means no paycheck. The repair isn't a choice, it's a toll. The repair costs $600. And here's the thing about that number. It's the same for everyone. The shop doesn't check your bank account. The engine doesn't care what you make an hour. Rich or broke, the paper says $600. Ray has $300. He didn't forget to save, you just watched him save. The money isn't all there yet. The surprise came first. So the bill doesn't shrink to fit him. He has to stretch to fit it. He pays what he has and breaks the rest into pieces. A piece this month, a piece next month, a piece the month after that. And every piece he can't pay today waits. And waiting has a price. That's interest, the price of not having the money today. Nobody tricked him. He read every line he signed. The math was on the paper the whole time. By the time the last piece leaves, the repair has cost more than $600. Not for a better repair, for the same one, spread across the months he needed. That's where the extra $5 went, back at the start. It was never in the price tag. It was in the waiting. Now, let's be fair. This doesn't mean poor people pay more for everything. If you live alone, you don't need 12 bananas. Buying less isn't a poverty trap. The problem isn't buying small. The problem starts when the cheaper way to pay exists, and you can't reach it. Here's how. Same week, same repair, same $600 on the paper. Hal pays it. Once. Done. In and out before lunch. And look, there's money left underneath. That leftover space has a name. Room. Ray pays it too. He just pays for it. For months. Hal's repair costs him an afternoon. Ray's repair costs him a season. Because money doesn't just buy things. It buys the ability to wait. Hal can pay the bill without borrowing. Ray has to pay it the expensive way. In pieces, with the meter running. Same bill, same day, same shop. Being short is expensive. Not because the bill changes, because the room does. And if you've never seen it laid out like this, that's the point of this channel. Easy answer, right? Save more, build the cushion. Everyone says it. Ray agrees. So do it again, Ray. He does. Months of it. Then a tooth cracks. And here's the part nobody says out loud. It cracks in Hal's house, too. For Hal, it's a bad afternoon. For Ray, it's the jar.
All of it. Back to zero. Bad luck doesn't visit Ray more often, it just costs him more when it does. And Ray, he doesn't quit. He starts the jar again, just smaller this time. Because part of his paycheck now belongs to the last surprise. The jar fills at his speed and empties at the world's. Watch the shape of his year. Paycheck, bills, one surprise, debt, paycheck. The loop isn't there because Ray spends recklessly. Most of the time, he's doing the responsible thing. The loop is there because every exit costs money, and the toll is due on the one day he doesn't have it. And every lap, the circle tightens, because each old surprise takes its piece of the new paycheck before the jar sees a cent. So let's do the audit. Point at the mistake. The car? Not a choice. The tooth? Not a choice. Paying in pieces? That was the only door open that day. He should have had an emergency fund. He was building one. You watched him build it. Twice. The surprise just kept arriving before the wall was finished. Every single decision, taken alone, was right. You can play every card correctly and still lose money on the game, if you're the one who can never wait. When Hal buys something, he gets to ask, which one is cheaper in the long run? Ray asks a different question. Which one can I pay for today? Same store, same shelf, same brain. The long-run answer can be cheaper, but it often costs more up front. So sometimes, the better long-run choice is simply out of reach. Remember the two people at the start? They weren't paying different prices. They were answering different questions. That's what money quietly buys. Not nicer things. The better question. Ray isn't short on effort. He isn't short on discipline. Most days, he isn't even short on cash. He's short on room. The space between what he has and what one bad Tuesday costs. With room, a surprise is an inconvenience. Without it, the same surprise becomes debt. And Ray? He gets there. The jar fills. Being poor isn't just having less money. It's having less room to make a mistake. Being short is expensive, because when you have no cushion, every mistake comes with interest.